All right, Addams Family. Not the old show, but the 1991 film. Now, I grew up with this. I used to watch it all the time. But today, Lulu's going to see it for the first time. And growing up in China, I don't imagine you were familiar with any cartoon version or the old black and white TV version. Or I'm hoping that you're going into this blind, but tell me, what do you know about the Addams Family?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing?
Absolutely nothing.
You saw the cover art for it, right?
It looks familiar.
Okay.
I probably saw it somewhere, but I don't quite remember.
Does it give you a hint at all about the movie, or maybe in just the aesthetic?
The gothic style?
Okay. All right. Yeah, no, you're onto it. All right, no. So there's our preface. The point of this particular recording, we're doing something a little bit different this time. Lulu's always the silent partner in our videos. This time, I'm going to put her on the spot a ton because I want to, first of all, give my reaction to this movie, which I haven't seen since I was a kid. I used to watch all the time with my younger sisters. But I also am curious about Lulu's reaction to it, going into this totally blind, without even understanding the pop culture references about it. I think that's going to be really fun because I know I have a lot of fun doing that. Like, we watched some Monkey King stuff. And Lulu was all pumped up, and I had no basis whatsoever for any understanding of the legend or the story or anything about it. And so, I don't know, maybe it wasn't fun for you at all, but I imagined that there was something interesting about seeing the interaction of someone who wasn't even familiar with the story. So, these are two incredibly different things. I wouldn't compare Addams Family to the Monkey King, but the concept, seeing the reaction of someone that you love, going to something with no preconception about it while you have all this bias and history with it is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, you sound excited. All right, let's do it. I completely forgot that this movie starts with Christmas caroling. So that's already a surprise. Comparing that against my memory, not what stands out.
A hand? Are we gonna see a foot soon? An eye? A nose?
Let's find out.
I want a hand like that. It's very convenient.
With Thing?
The Thing? The hand is called The Thing?
Well, his name is Thing, or her name. Thing is played by a male actor, but I don't know if Thing chooses to identify as male.
Actor. I like Thing.
And you want one?
Adam is so shady. He's awful to his neighbor.
Well, that's not his neighbor. This is a different person he's being awful to.
Well, that proves that he's even more shittier.
Well, they're having fun.
He's shitty to his neighbor. He just unapologetically throw the ball there. Mm-hmm. And then this person, imagine you're a businessman and you're doing your own business and visiting a house and you are treated like that. That's really bad.
Oh, yeah, I hear you. Though I'll say, no, actually, that's just true. The gate ate his coat, the bear rug ate his foot, and then this guy throws a sword at him. That's his interaction with his client. His last and only client. Poor dude. Poor Tully. Adam's having fun. So this was a big thing in my family that caught on very quickly, very quotable moment, and I do remember that. Pass the salt? What do you say? And then you're supposed to say please. She says now. That was always a thing at my house. It's like, can you pass the salt? And Dad would say, what do you say? He'd say, now, really angrily. We picked up from this movie. I think also when I was a kid, I wasn't quite catching on to how much casual murder was going on during this movie, and also implied rough sex between Gomez and Morticia. Just the very raw sexual nature of their relationship also escaped me a little bit. That one, growing up, became more obvious to me that I'd missed that. But yeah, I forgot that Pugsley causes an accident by stealing a stop sign and, other stuff like that. I always loved the hidden vault mechanics in this. The secret door to all the chains, and you have to pull just the right one, and then you go down a slide, then you're at the ocean somehow underground. I love this. All the challenges to get to the vault and how it's gothic, creepy fantasy hidden with... This is... You know what? We did a review on The Goonies. I wish The Goonies was just like a whole movie of trap and puzzle mechanics to the quality of what you see here, getting to the vault from the Addams family. That's the kind of stuff I liked.
Did you watch that with your family?
Yeah.
How did you feel?
I guess maybe it didn't register. They're so over-the-top silly, like the Gomez kissing up and down her arm and stuff like that was just part of the silliness. I mean, this came out in 1991. I was pretty young the first few times I saw this movie, and it struck me as being like part of their general weirdness. I do, watching it now though, absolutely love the disgust on the judge's face as he's running the auction. Like, he does that very well, and he's like, ugh, 50,000, just his face is, he's so upset by what they're doing. I like that. Now, she did used to freak me out, and I was uncomfortable with this scene. I was down for all the creepy stuff with the Addams family, but the really dysfunctional mother-son relationship that they had always made me really uncomfortable. Like, you know, it's supposed to. She's obviously terrible and abusive and using him, but the whole listen to my heart, creeped me out. I never liked that. She always used to freak me out.
I didn't know that they're real mother and son. I thought they were just a partner or something, which had a kinky relationship, and they just call each other mother and son.
That was the creepy kind of kinky you're getting out there. Kind of weird to think of it this way, because we were just talking earlier about how I had not enough concept of, I think, sexuality to get all that beyond like the over-the-top kissing thing that Gomez did, being really excessive and over-the-top. But, you know, I was always creeped out by, I actually don't know, I can't remember her real name in this movie. I know her as Dr. Pinderschloss, but which is her fake name, her fake identity. But the emotional manipulation, like, I was too young to get the sex stuff, but I totally was really uncomfortable and immediately recognized the kind of emotional manipulation and the selfish destruction of Gordon/Fester's joy because it didn't meet her immediate selfish needs. Oh, made me... How weird that I understood emotional manipulation as a young kid. I don't know if that really means anything necessarily, but it wasn't like you dislike the villain because you know they're the villain. Like, I was always deeply creeped out and really uncomfortable by this lady. And even though I wouldn't have had the vocabulary to explain it at the time, it really was because of the total selfish nature in which she plays with the relationship that she has with this character, and just makes him feel bad about anything he loves that doesn't fit what she wants. Didn't like that one bit. Well, I mean, that's exactly what's happening right now, right? Yeah. He comes up ecstatic, and all she sees is, oh, not the thing I wanted, failure. And then she turns her head and waits for him to notice that she's upset. She's cueing despair. She's trashing his moment, but she's doing it in a really intentionally manipulative way. And this is the defining moment, the juxtaposition of the Girl Scout and Wednesday Addams. Are they organic lemons? I only drink lemonade made from non-preserved organic lemons. Which, okay, I'm going to catch a lot of flack for that if this makes it into whatever video we do. I respect that people want to take care of their bodies and want to do as little damage as possible. Those are both good intentions. She is supposed to characterize the people who are really obnoxious about it and trying to make you feel bad for not doing your part, and the people who do it as a status thing rather than as a respectable taking care of yourself and the earth and whatever else thing. So Wednesday's stone-faced, are they made from real Girl Scouts kind of reaction to the Girl Scout cookies is perfect. And spoiler alert, there's a second movie. That rivalry will continue, and I love it, and I can't wait for you to see how it continues to grow as they grow. I never really thought about that scene before. Where do you think they got all those crying kids for this? Do they... or make them cry for the camera? How do you think that...
Yeah, I guess.
You think about that? I mean, it's easy to find a crying kid, I guess. They're all kind of shitty and sad all the time about stupid things. But how do you think did they bring in a bunch of kids and make them cry?
Well, I guess for kids, if one kid cries, and the rest are gonna...
So you think they just sat down like 5 kids and waited for one to start crying to see if the rest would do it, and then zoomed in on all the crying ones?
I don't know, yeah. That's...
I mean, I would say maybe she actually told that story to a bunch of kids, but it seemed like from the camera work, they were careful not to show the kids and her in the same shot. So, yeah. They probably wouldn't have been able to get around the bad press of our actress made a bunch of children cry. But, hey, other directors have done it.
I feel like for kids, it's easy for them to cry. Like, just as their parents, they can just go away for like a moment, and the kids start to cry.
I kind of want to look this up, though.
I don't know. I figured that's how they cast these kids.
Like, an ad. We need kids to be extras for our film, but they need to be really sad. We need a bunch of crybabies.
Yeah, they need to be easy to get crying.
I was thinking about that earlier also when not that, totally different thing, but I was thinking about the reality behind the filming of the scene earlier on when Fester comes out of the pipe and there's all those fish dying around him. They looked like real fish. You think he killed a bunch of fish a bunch of times over just to get that shot?
Maybe they're just using the same fish.
That's shitty, huh? And then you just throw them back in a bucket, then dump them out on the ground again over and over?
Yeah.
Oof. That's rough. Rough day to be that fish. I hope they got hazard pay. This was, like, iconic for me. This scene taught me what depression is. A guy in a white undershirt, sweaty and greasy, sitting in a shitty chair in front of a shitty TV in a shitty motel room with that fake wood paneling, the sun in the window in his eyes. Like, to me, this was the definition of misery and failure. From a very early age, I learned what that looked like from this scene. And it's kind of stuck with me ever since. I have a hard time on Sundays chilling out because I feel like I failed Gomez Addams. Oh, and here it is. The most horrifying part of the Addams Family. Back in the 90s, American culture went through a very dark time. Well, I guess you could say the dark time started before that and hasn't really stopped. But at least in the 90s phase of dark time, this was represented by the fact that all media producers for video games and movies and TV shows thought that the best way to relate to kids was to rap, was with hip-hop. That's what the kids liked. So everything had to have a shitty rap. And nobody liked it. Nobody has ever liked it. I don't know why. It haunts me still to this day. And I was brutally reminded of it with the Addams Family rap in the credits of this movie. Ugh. One small exception, actually, Vanilla Ice Ninja Turtle rap. That was its own horrifying thing, but in kind of a cult classic-y sort of way. That one holds up. All right, so there it is. Now you've seen it. What do you think?
I think it's fine. It's... No, I was kidding. I think it's a fun movie. It's very Halloween. And it's just a very stupid, fun Halloween movie. I don't know how to describe it. I think there's a lot of things in the movie that doesn't make sense or confuse me a lot. But it's just very dumb and fun, and I think it's a good movie. And it has a very distinctive style. I don't think I've heard about this movie before, but I do recognize a few things in this movie. I feel like it's a popular meme.
It's certainly popular enough that I've seen memes and references to it. So yeah, that's very possible. I wouldn't be terribly surprised.
I really like the little girl. She's the coolest kid.
She's a big favorite. Pugsley is kind of like, okay. Just generally good-natured and a little bit murdery, but Wednesday with her dead eyes and her very stern, she's great. Well, are you excited that there is a second one of these to watch?
Oh yeah, I would like to watch a sequel of this one.
We're in the Halloween stretch. We'll do a bunch of movies like this.
Cool. Please subscribe and like our videos.
Yes, please do.